Hello YouTube and welcome back to the shop. So we've been scouring Marketplace and looking up the cost of cranks and connecting rods and all that stuff. I did call a couple of local machine shops to get some prices for fixing my existing stuff. I'd found basically a long block. It's about 2.5 hours from here. It strikes me as being, in talking to the guy, he strikes me as being kind of a young kid that took on a project, and I don't think he fully understood the expense associated with stuff like this. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. We exchanged some messages here and there. He's going to try to move some stuff around this afternoon, and I'm hoping to go down around 3-ish my time and take a look at this and see what we've got. He did say that it's got a stock crank and connecting rods and everything looks good. It's actually 1 year newer than what I've got now. I will take a look at the rest of the block that he's got and see. Basically we'll take 2 motors and kind of make one. We'll use the best parts from both. But again, the good news is I'm going to have some spare parts left over, which I just store them until I get sick of looking at them, and then I'll try to sell them and nobody will buy them, and then I'll end up probably throwing them away. That's just how it goes. So today, this morning, I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time. We'll get some of the parts cleaned up that I know I'm going to reuse. The stuff like valve covers, some of the brackets, that kind of stuff. We'll probably do a little sandblasting, get them cleaned up, and I do got to get some paint. I'm trying to figure out what color I want this block. Cummins motors have historically come in several different colors. There's a gray, there's a light green, there's the Cummins red, and of course black. I don't want to go with black for sure, because if I do have an oil leak, I want to be able to see it. And I don't know if Cummins red is going to be too kind of in your face. I may go with like the tan or the light green that they used in some of their agricultural and some of their industrial stuff. So, or I may go with like Chevy orange just to piss off some people. So it's hard to say. So I'm going to do a little cleaning up here, get some stuff situated. We'll get the sandblaster fired up, and we'll start cleaning up some stuff. So we'll be right back. Hello YouTube and welcome back. So I think I may have found a solution to my Cummins dilemma. Down in the bowels of Pennsylvania, there's an individual that's got basically a long block for sale, but he's only asking $300 for it, which is pretty cheap. In talking to him, it sounds like he broke a piston on it. It sounds like he either dropped it and possibly broke a skirt, or I don't know, maybe dropped something on a piston. But at any rate, he started a project and now he doesn't want to keep going. So we got the old F-250 fired up. She's a little rusty, but she's trusty. Got 140,000 on the clock, and we're southbound and down. We got about 150 miles to go till we get there. Hopefully this ends up being exactly what I need, which is basically a crank and some connecting rods. In one of the pictures, it does look like the block he's got has some nice cross hatching in it, like it was brand new machine. So I don't know, I'm really curious. And the block is super clean, it's already been painted. I think he was going through trying to do a rebuild, but I don't know, maybe he got hung up or changed directions, or I don't know, maybe he discovered the parts for Cummins are way more expensive than a small block Chevy. So anyway, we got 150 miles to go, and yeah, this could be a good thing. So, or it could be a total waste of time. Anyway, we'll keep going. All right, 6 hours in the truck, $300, 2 days worth of scouring Facebook Marketplace yields this friggin' thing. This is a 24 valve Cummins. So the backstory on this, the kid is kind of sketchy, but for $300 I expected it to be. It was a young kid, and I don't know if he got in over his head with this motor or what. He said that it was quote unquote rebuilt, which I think he means it was cleaned up and a gasket set thrown in it. He did say the head was cleaned and inspected, but after the motor was put together, apparently it sat outside and the intake plenum was open, so it got a bunch of water in it and apparently it seized up. So the damage to the pistons he was talking about is right here. He had to beat some of these pistons out, which I don't really care about the pistons because I've got 6 good ones. All of the connecting rods are in good shape. The crank is in great shape. I mean, there's no scoring on it at all. So those are the 2 parts that I was mostly interested. I'm assuming the other main cap is in the box along with a bunch of other random stuff. The head does look like it's in pretty good shape. The head gasket, like, legitimately does not look like it was ever really run. So, I mean, there may be something to this kid's story. You can see some rust marks here where water was sitting. But, yeah, so I got a bucket full of extra parts. The only big difference between this motor and my other motor is this crankshaft has the tone ring on the crank, which is fine because the sensor is right there still in the block, so I can actually pull that sensor out, I'm hoping, and reuse it. And my existing block does have the port here for that sensor, so I think I'm going to be in good shape. I did cross-reference via ChatGPT, so take that for what it's worth, but dimensionally this crank is the same as what's in there. The only difference is the tone rings. So if that's the case, we're in good shape. So it's been a long day for me. Like I said, it was a 6-hour drive down, and the radio in my truck doesn't work, so it was 6 hours listening to the wind and my exhaust manifold leaking. I got to get that on the list to do, but you know, 1,000 projects, one at a time. So I am pretty excited to find this motor. I think it's going to work out really good. And between the 2 motors, we should be able to put together one good, solid working motor. So that's where we're at. I'm going to call it a night for now. Go in and drink something cold and spend a little time with the missus. And tomorrow morning, I got to pour some concrete. And then I think tomorrow afternoon, we might get back at some of this. So we'll catch you later, dude.